Hey mama, let's talk about work travel. I want to give you my 6 tips for making the most of work travel. Because let's face it, work travel can be exhilarating and it can also be depleting. It's a lot to leave your family. And while it can be super, super exciting to go and get on the road and especially after the pandemic, see other people and engage and interact and see new places and try new food and really come together to move something forward, which is what happens a lot of times when we travel for work, it can also be depleting. So I want to give you my 6 tips so that you can make the most of the work travel that you have coming up. The first, and this is the most important by far, that's why it's the first, these are prioritized, is to get clear on why you're traveling. Why are you getting on a plane, getting in a car, going to the place that you're going? What are the top 3 objectives that you have for this travel? It could be to seal a deal. It could be to come up with a final plan. It could be to network and build relationships. Whatever those 3 reasons are, you need to know them because that will help you to understand where you need to spend your time and energy. So make sure that before you get in that car, get on that plane, get in that taxi, you understand why you're traveling. Write down those 3 objectives and get really, really clear on them. Second, as you think about what is going on, you need to build in some downtime. Think about how your day is going to evolve, right? Don't be in a rush mode because it is going to be depleting. If you're on a call on your way to the airport and then you're at the airport on a call and you're like walking off the plane, hoping for the signal so you can get in quickly and start another call, you're going to be stressed. It is going to create extra stress. And unless those calls that you're doing are leading you towards your 3 objectives, they can probably wait. So build in some downtime. If you're an introvert like me, I know that I need time alone. So I build in space between meetings and dinner so that I can just go be by myself. And whether that's sitting in my rental car, listening to a podcast, or having a drink at the bar, or even if I can, escaping up to my hotel room for a moment, I build in some time so that I can recuperate. Because when I recuperate, I know I can show up and deliver on my objectives. So make sure that you take some time to have some time, right? Build in downtime. The third thing is that once you have your objectives in place, you need to make a plan to achieve them. How are you going to make sure that you get what you want out of this trip? Build it into your agenda. And I'm not just talking about setting that meeting to go from this time to this time. What's going to happen in that meeting? Who needs to be there? What are the questions that you need to ask? And what are the questions that you need to have answered? Make sure that you're clear on all of that so you can achieve your objectives while you're there. That's how you make the most out of this trip. The fourth thing is once you have that agenda in place, visualize your success. Yes, take a moment to think about what it's going to look like when you achieve what you want to achieve. Visualize the path to getting there so that you're really clear and feel really good that you're going to deliver on those objectives that have you traveling in the first place. The next is to communicate that plan out. So once you've visualized your success, you know what that plan looks like, start sharing it. Share it with those folks around. Hey, Bob, I'm so looking forward to meeting with you on this next trip. Here are some of the things that I know we're going to need to talk through, and here's where I'm hoping to go. Here's what I'm hoping to walk away with. Communicate that out so everyone can come ready to deliver for you, so they can come ready with the right information and the right answers to provide what you need. The fifth thing, that was the fifth, is to communicate the plan out. The 6th thing is to give yourself space to readjust after you get home. Right? So you've had the meetings, you've sealed the deal, you've landed on what that project plan is, you've built the relationships, you've done all the things that you needed to do on that trip, and you're coming home. Just like you wanted to give yourself space that day that you were traveling out, make sure that you give yourself space when you come home. Don't rush from the airport. And I know you'll be excited to see your family and see those kids if they're not in bed. Still, give yourself a moment to decompress. Whether that is taking the long way home, sitting in the car down the block for a little bit, hanging out in the airport for a moment just before you leave, give yourself some time to decompress and also build that into your work calendar. Try to leave space because when we travel, we know that emails build up and needs and demands on us build up. And so give yourself some space to sort through those the next day so that you're not rushing around late into the night before, or having to wake up super early the next day to just get caught up. Build in that space into your calendar to get caught up. You'll be less frazzled, you'll make better decisions, and ultimately that work trip that you had will have delivered in a stronger way. So there you have it. Those are my 6 tips for how to make the most of work travel. I hope that this helps you. And I also hope that you know it is okay for that travel to feel both exhilarating and depleting. We're complex human beings, which means we're gonna have complex emotions, and there is nothing wrong with that. That's what makes us human, and being human is wonderful.